Howdy guys, how's it going? So we're just going to be jumping straight into this one today because I'm getting out here pretty late in the day. By the time I hiked out here, it's about, I think, 3 to 3:30ish. And I'll be trying something new, so I don't know if it's going to work in this spot or if I'm going to have to move. So we're going to get pretty right up into the setup. But I'm going to be attempting to use my hammock as essentially a bug bivy, because I was thinking, you know, if you have a hammock, and let's say you're in a place where you can't find two trees that are properly spaced, or you can't find two trees that are properly spaced that are safe because of potential, you know, widowmakers, deadfall, whatever the case may be, or you're somewhere where you can't, you know, legally clear out, you know, brush or limbs or, you know, saplings that are in your way. You know, this could be handy. And also, you can still adjust, you know, if you're on a slope, because right now we're sloping downhill. And there's no real tree that I can take, and I can attach it to those right there, which is probably out of frame, those really small saplings, but I don't want to have to really cut any of this stuff out of the way to try and prove that this will work. So we can still have an elevated head area. So I want to be able to elevate my head area here so that I'm still laying flat, and, you know, hopefully this will work out really nice. Okay, so the first thing on the to-do list before we get into clearing the ground in our spot here is going to be to have a quick snack, because your boy here is hungry. Didn't really have a big lunch, so I brought a nice beef stick with me. So we'll tear into this thing, get a little bit of that protein energy cooking in the system. And we got a really high protein meal for later as well. Look at that. The old beef stick in the system, we can start clearing out what will hopefully be a very comfortable sleeping area. It's been raining literally for the past 5 days straight, and I'm talking about some torrential downpours. And this is supposed to be the first, today and tomorrow is supposed to be the first 2 days we've had without any precipitation in about a week. So the ground's very saturated. So we don't want to have any part of laying directly on the ground. So now, real quick, one reason why I really wanted to choose this spot for this, you know, specific, it's not exactly a challenge, but for this new setup attempt, is because it's very well shaded and it's a hot and humid day, because there's a bunch of these mountain magnolia trees, and then everything else is mostly hardwood, not really any pines. These mountain magnolias, this is just a small sapling, have these really large leaves on them, which provide a nice, you know, shady area. And you combine that with these really dense maple and oak trees and some American beech, and then, you know, we're surrounded by all the laurel bushes slash trees, and it's a really nice little concealed area. These large mountain magnolia leaves also make decent toilet paper, just so you know. So for reference point, we are, you know, on a pretty steep incline, nothing like too extreme. No, we're not on the side of Mount Everest or anything. But this would be an area that would be very, very difficult to, like, find a spot to set a tent. So you would want to have a hammock if you knew the terrain beforehand. But then going to the whole point of this is you couldn't find a proper way to set it up, but this should still equal things out. So if I keep this leg straight without exaggerating, right there's the bend of my leg to, you know, equal staying like a straight posture. Those cameras never show the incline or decline of something efficiently or properly. So it's not nowhere near flat. So hopefully this works. So I forgot to bring my small folding saw, and I am going to need a pretty sturdy Y stake to hold the bottom end down, since there's going to be a decent amount of weight, you know, pulling against it since we're on that that incline. So I'm going to see if I can find something that's already dead or down that I don't have to cut, because if it's dead, I might be able to break it, and then I can easily chop it up with my K-bar, which that's really that's the largest cutting tool that I brought with me today. All right, so I think this fallen piece of poplar is the best I'm gonna be able to do. The only thing I'm worried about is I think this is going to be a bit too thick to fit through the tie-off ring, the metal tie-off ring on the hammock at the bottom, so I'll probably have to whittle it down a decent bit. But either way that we turn it and get it into the ground, as long as this that still feels pretty solid, so as long as we can kind of hammer that into the ground without it chipping off too much, we should be good to go with it. So we'll work on that in a second, but we got to kind of get the other parts of this laid out first. Go ahead and strip that bark off. That is very, very slimy. So we'll be using this as our ground cover. Now, I was thinking about how you could use this in the winter time, and you could also, like, you could really just lay this out long ways and then set your hammock up where we're going to and wrap this, like lay on one side, then wrap it around you, and then have that reflective material facing you to help reflect your body heat. But today we're just going to be using it purely as a ground cloth. And I will probably fold it over one way or the other. I just want to kind of, well, what I'll probably do is I'll kind of tuck it around the inside of the tarp. But then if I do that, then that's also going to reflect heat. So I guess we don't need heat. I didn't even bring a sleeping bag. I just brought a heavyweight hoodie with me because the past few outings I've done here in the summer, I've not needed a sleeping bag. I just ended up sweating just laying on top of my sleeping bag. So the low for tonight is just 65, and I keep it 68 in my room, and I sleep in my underwear. So just with that, our spacing looks pretty good. Ouch. I think it would be better if my zipper is on that side. Far, we're looking good. Like I've got high hopes for this one. I just don't know how high to tie this up. So that's where the real trial and error is going to come in. We're not going to need much. Here's where everything's going to really, see, I don't think, yeah, that's definitely not high enough. I shouldn't have tied it like that quick. Way up. That would work if we was not on such a steep incline. I think if we go from there, and then we tie a nice little cinching up knot, then we can adjust the height a little bit depending on where we stake it out at. There we go. So we can adjust that as we need to. Now, we just probably got to whittle down our stake stick a little bit. So I do want this to be on the longer side. Maybe not that long, but there's a knot right there. There we go. Now, Still ended up with a bit of a knot. Hang on, need to chop this on something. Okay, we'll have to see if that works. Okay, so not sure how far up I want to go. I'm going to have to go find something to hammer this into the ground with. I found a pretty, flat-sided stone we can use. God dang, there's always some of these stupid flies out here. Because we're going to need this to be pretty tight, or taut. This is the proper word. Let's see if this fits. And it fits like a god dang glove for the most part. So that's what I was kind of worried about. Like we can have it on the ground. We can like be touching the ground. That's kind of the point of this. The other thing I'm worried about too is if the, ouch, there's a bunch of, there's sweat bees flying around. It's like once we're in it, we can kind of have that portion. Because like this thing isn't meant to be like full on floating in the air. We'll just have to keep the parts of the hammock that are going to be on the ground safe, or keep it from getting too wet. Without the rain fly, the sleeping pad in, that's essentially it. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the sleeping pad in just to give it some shape, and then we can go from there. We'll lay in it and see kind of how it holds up to the, because hammocks are, they're a lot longer than your average person is. I'm 5'10". For reference, in case you knew. Now this will be really easy to put in this hammock this time because we don't have a we're not trying to fit it in a sleeping bag, and it's not floating in the air. So let's attempt to get this jig up in here. Oh, gotta be careful, there's a briar right there. I don't want to poke a hole in it. So now you could do this even without a tree. Like you could take and stake this out on the ground and then make you some little buttons and like tie this off, or make you a little tripod and like hold everything up that way. I just feel like that would really wear on your mesh fast. So if all possible, this should help keep things lasted a good long while. Plus I'm somebody that I really toss and turn and move a lot in my sleep, so I feel like I'd end up just ripping my mesh, and then that kind of defeats the whole purpose of a bug bivy, because then anything that finds that nifty little hole, which trust me they will find that nifty little hole, is going to be hopping into your tent. So not going to get my boots in here, but let me see if this is enough of a so right here, I'm just laying almost like I'm in one of those little, like one of those, raised beds where you can just kind of control the elevation, because your body's going to slide back anyway, so it's good to get right up as far back as you can. You just don't want to make sure there's nothing really that's going to poke a hole in your fabric, and there's not. There's just a sapling. There is a briar right here, which I will remove later, but this sapling keeps this hammock from touching it. So, and see, because we have this raised like this, that's the other big thing is, you know, you don't want your mesh like laying against your face at night while you're sleeping, and this keeps the mesh off your face. So now, even though it's not going to rain, we're going to pretend like it was, and we're going to put this over. So I mean, there's so much canopy over us. So I don't even think there'll be any real dew or anything in the morning in this spot. So now, due to like I did not think about this when choosing this spot, due to how like dense and close everything is, this tarp setup will probably be pretty loose. Like it's not going to be very hot because its main purpose is if there is any dew, just keep that off of us, and then if the sun from whatever other direction causes any, it'll be to provide shade. I'll figure out which side I got. Well, I got all these things pre-tied on there that tends to complicate things just a hair. But I want the long one on this corner because that's going to be the hardest one to find a place to put it. I'm going to do this one over here. And I got some electrical tape that I would use as a drip line because you would want a drip line with this. Oh no, let's not get knotted up here. God dang, I think I chose the wrong, I think I still done it the wrong direction. Sure did. Well, wait, no, maybe I didn't. Maybe I did. Did, but I'm not gonna, I did, but I'm not gonna flip it. We're gonna figure out a way to make this work. Gotta improvise, adapt, overcome, all that fun stuff. Bushwhack with your face. Jesus Christ, ouch. These pants are not the ones that are on the thicker side, so the briars really beat your cheeks whenever you in them. That'll be fine. Like I said, this is just for dew protection. Like right there, that's lined up with that end of the hammock, which is not good. You'd want it to be above that end, to where her head is, but there should not be any real complications from that. I have no clue what to do with this one because this is where I needed my long end. Hey, that should work for that. Just tied it to a little, what do you calls it? There we go. We'll take that tree under here. It's going to cause some condensation under there, but it opens the place up, you know. It makes it feel all, it's an open floor plan, you feel me? So there we have it, guys. Everything is set up. The tarp's nice and doing what it should be doing for this purpose. And our thing is set up. So now all's left to do is chill out. I just brought that heavyweight hoodie. I'm not going to get it out right now because I don't want a bunch of insects and garbage. So there is already ants, and there's a bee. You probably can't see it. It's kind of a small bee, but there's some ants already crawling on the hammock body. So that's where having a bug net comes in nice and handy. And then, you know, here in a little bit, we'll crack the food out. I got some hot buffalo tuna, and I'll make some hot buffalo tuna wraps because I didn't want to have a fire once again because it's just, I'm melting. You know, I just sweat like a whore in church this time of year. Got to add some air to my air pad before tonight. All in all, it's been fun so far. I'm glad this has turned out the way it has. I'm getting my hammock body wet just from dripping sweat on it and setting my hand on it. There's a handprint right there from all this nice nifty perspiration because the humidity's at a flipping 1,000,000%. And have some tuna wraps. I've not tried the specific tuna. I tried the Thai chili and really loved it. This is Hot Buffalo Style by the old Starskis. I've got 2 packs of that. Got 2 wraps. I didn't have any small Ziploc bags, so I just wrapped the wraps in tin foil. So I don't think I'm going to have to add anything to this spice-wise, so we can go ahead and put that back. I've already got some Propel mixed up in my water jug there. We'll just take this right here one at a time. Very, very straightforward. Just roll these bad boys up in here. The tin foil kind of gives us a bit of a working area too, off our pants. You know, a very clean, hygienic, sweat stained, dirt covered pants. Probably get some type of tree AIDS or something if you eat off of them. So the first time when I had the Thai chili one, I took the stuff out and warmed it up in the microwave, and hopefully this will be good cold because I don't want a hot meal. And I'm not gonna attempt. I've got my metal nesting cup that goes with you know, my stainless steel bottle. That's the only cooking equipment that I brought with me. The ants are gonna be swarming that. I'm gonna have to like put that somewhere else besides near me, because if I put it in my bag, I'll have ants just absolutely molesting my bag. But yeah, I mean, that right there, that nice little hunk of meat vomit is what we got to chow on. I have no clue how to do a burrito. Plus, I think these are a little small for this amount of meat. But anyways, let's give her a go. It's very good. It's got like a sweet and tangy side to it I wouldn't expect. I was hoping it would be kind of more, like there is heat, but it's not spicy. I think this would be better if you added a little extra chili powder and a hot sauce that had a little bit of spice to it. I think it'd also be better heated. It's very nice cold, like the way it is. So yeah, that was really good. I'm gonna take it to the other one. There's no point in me really bringing you on for that. And after that, I'm gonna chill out. Might go for a short hike, scout this area a little bit, since it's been a while since I've been in this particular area. That was very, very good. I don't want to lose that paracord. So I will probably see you guys when it's about time to head to bed. Alrighty, let's take and shed some light on the equation here. Boop. The bugs, the flying doojigs are going to be absolutely swarming you guys here in a second. So we'll try to get this spedded it up. So one thing that might seem a little bit strange that I'm going to do before I go to bed is I'm going to change hats, because oh Jesus Christ, I'm currently wearing I got this new hat that has the patches on it, and then this is my old hat, which you've seen pretty much since the beginning. I've had to do some sewing work on it and a lot of other things, so I'm wearing it to bed because it's just very, very pliable. It's not as hard around the ends. It's formed in my head, so it doesn't press on my temples like this one will whenever I wear it, because it's nice to do this, one, to block out light, especially early in the morning, and two, you know, in the event that I lean against the mesh or whatever, it'll keep things from biting me through the mesh. One thing I've noticed that you have to be very careful of is not to zip up your mesh in the zipper, because you don't want to tear it. Going back to the reason why we didn't do the whole button thing. Stick those over there. And we do want to hurry up and get in this thing, because right now our zipper is at the little insect crawler level. So we'll do that. Heard a creature. So we got that, just inspected, make sure nothing unwanted. We got a little inchworm. But other than that, it appears to be good to go. Oh, yes, it's going to be nice. Well, guys, I appreciate you coming along to spend the night with me, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Let's pop the old earbuds in and call it a day. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh. Whew. Well, oh, Jesus. Good morning, guys and gals. All in all, I am extremely pleased with how this turned out, but my air pad lost a lot of air, like pretty much all its air last night, so I woke up and it was a little rough sleep. Luckily, this ground that I'm on is extremely soft from where it rained so much, and it's still got all that softness. I just woke up once or I don't know, like I woke up one time and I know I woke up, and then like, you know how you have those moments sometimes like where you wake up but you know you can't tell if you're in like you're half asleep, maybe halfway in dream world, halfway in reality. I didn't feel like getting up, and you know, because you have this like kind of hammock rest on your upper back area, it's like you don't, even if you're on solid ground, you don't really have much pressure at all on your like on your back, so that's a big plus. I don't think my AirPod's got a hole in it, because obviously I got back out a minute ago to set the camera up this morning. But I blew air in it again, and it feels, I don't know, I'll check it out. I've actually got another one of these exact same AirPods. When I ordered this one, the company accidentally sent me two. So I've got this one, plus I've got other sleeping pads. I just use this one the most during the summer because, well, it's extremely light and you don't really need any insulation. Like, it felt good. I didn't get any cold spots from having my body just between this mat with it mostly deflated, the sleeping bag, and the emergency space blanket. So all in all, extremely pleased. But I'm gonna get packed up and get out of here, because there is a chance of rain around midday-ish, but it's only like a 40% chance. So yeah. As always, guys, I really appreciate you coming along for the little adventure. And you know, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already, share the channel and the videos with your friends. Check out the links in the description of my other channels, especially if you're into gaming. Let's see what else. And then other than that, just hit me up in the comments section, and I'll try to get back to you ASAP. And until the next one, adios.